Welcome to Chat with the Prez. This is Leslie Vargas, Riverside Community College District Public Affairs Officer. Sit back and enjoy engaging conversations with students, colleagues, and community members, all hosted by Moreno Valley College President, Dr. Rudy Besikoff.
Pull up a sofa and join Leslie and me for episode number 9, Registration Palooza. Leslie, the scene here is intense. The lobby is flooded with students getting ready for the semester. So tell us who our guests are today.
Well, Dr. Rudy, today we're serving up a special edition, as you mentioned, Registration Palooza. We've heard we have some key leaders just hanging out in the Welcome Center today, so we're going to pull them in for a chat of everything students need to know about registering, choosing the right classes, and navigating the process with confidence. Our guests include people from academic affairs, from academic evaluations, from CTE, from public
and records also.
Yes,
Wow,
from public safety. So each guest is going to have just a few minutes. It's going to be a little bit rogue today, not like our traditional episode, but a lot of energy, a lot of insight, and a lot of information for students to make registration a breeze.
Going rogue sounds like my kind of show. You know, Leslie, how can our audience reach out if they have questions about this program today?
I'm glad you asked. Listeners can reach us at prezhour@mvc.edu, like us on Facebook at Moreno Valley College, and follow us on Instagram and X at Moreno Valley College. Dr. Besikoff is also on social media, where you can find him on Instagram at Dr. Besikoff and on YouTube at Dr. Besikoff Talks Education, where all his past episodes are available.
Okay, so I have some breaking news. We now have 36 subscribers on YouTube. The number just keeps going up. I'm Rudy Besikoff, very proud president of Moreno Valley College, the only public higher education game in town since 1991 and home of Mountain Lion Nation. You know, like so many things with the president's office, this show really comes together thanks to a great team. In addition to Leslie, Chris Rangel behind the cameras keeps us sounding and looking good. And today we have Tiana Thomas. Normally in the office, she lines up guests for the program, but she's actually here in the lobby wrangling folks, getting them to appear on set. Our very first one actually is sitting to our left, and we certainly want to welcome Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Jumana McGowan. Dr. McGowan, do you remember the first time you signed up for classes?
Yes, I do.
What was it like? What do you remember?
That was 25 plus years ago.
We weren't asking, okay.
And it was paper format.
Okay, press hard, you're making 6 copies?
Yes.
Wow, okay. So, you know, this is an exciting time. General registration's opening up. What are some things you can tell us about the schedule?
Well, the schedule is developed through the collaborative efforts of our faculty members, our department chairs, and our deans. We offer at Moreno Valley College over 73 plus different programs. We offer AA degrees. We offer a large number of certificates, as well as ADTs. We have over 69 associate degrees of
I want to ask a couple quick questions. What's the difference between a certificate and a degree?
Okay, a certificate, it could be the total amount of units could be 6, 9, 12, up to 18, or even 21 units. A degree is 60 units or above. We're trying to make sure that all of our degrees stop at 60 degrees. We had 72 units. We've decreased them to 63. We're aiming to do 60 units. All of our associate degrees of transfer are all 60 units of credit. So you earn 60 units and then you transfer to UCs or CSUs.
So what you're saying is with a certificate, I could be done in maybe a semester or a year and working?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
We have a large number of our public safety programs and a large number of our CTE programs that you can start by enrolling, registering into our classes, completing a certificate in 1 semester, and applying for apprenticeship and internships, and you will be right there, employed and learning and gaining hands-on experience.
Okay, now you also gave us a little abbreviation earlier, ADT, what's that?
It stands for Associate Degrees of Transfer, where we actually partner with our UCs and CSUs to offer 60 units of courses. You complete the 60 units of courses and you transfer into a discipline at either UCs or the CSUs.
If I complete all the classes in an associate degree for transfer, how many of them will actually transfer?
All. All 60.
Oh, so it's a guarantee.
Yes.
Wow.
All 60.
Now, Leslie, do you think maybe I'm asking questions I already know the answer to today?
No, I think it's, it's good.
Well, you've been a vice president of academic affairs.
Oh, let's see. That's privilege. Don't tell anybody, by the way. So,
You know this.
yeah. Vice President of Academic Affairs. Sometimes you hear a job like electrician. You kind of have an idea what that is. What does a Vice President of Academic Affairs do?
A lot of things. So starting off with the type of programs that we offer, the type of degrees that we offer is what I work. I'm responsible for managing anything that pertains to instruction in the classroom, how we do the instruction, how we provide the professional development for the faculty, what kind of scheduling we offer, what kind of programs we offer, how we evaluate our faculty and our managers and our staff, anything pertaining to instruction, as well as, and the most important thing besides developing programs, is scheduling, providing and creating a student-centered schedule that help meet the needs of the students, whether they want to take courses online, in person, face-to-face, or hybrid or non-credit.
So before you became a vice president, what were some other jobs you had that kind of built you up to that role?
As I mentioned earlier, I have well, I may not have mentioned it earlier, but I have approximately 25 plus years of experience as a community college faculty member, as a part-timer, then a full-time faculty member.
What did you teach?
Business. I taught business management. And then I became a part-timer, full-time faculty member. Then I was department chair, academic senate president, then a dean of business, then associate vice president, and now vice president of academic affairs.
Okay, so maybe somebody in our audience is watching this program, maybe a student thinking about a career, and they think, wow, I want to be a college vice president someday. What advice would you give them?
Absolutely, highly recommended. If you want to make a difference in the lives of students, this is the place to be. In working in any capacity at a community college is wonderful, particularly in academic affairs, because you leave your footprint or your fingerprint on the college in terms of its programs, in terms of the caliber of programs that you offer, and helping students better themselves to either transfer and helping students better themselves for employability. It's a wonderful position to have. It's a wonderful place to be. It's all positive.
But how many years of school do they need? Because that's what a student would say. I did my AA, now I have to go get my bachelor's. What do they need other schooling besides just the bachelor's?
Well, it'll be very beneficial for them to earn a master's degree. The minimum qualification is to have a master's degree, plus education experience as an instructor, as an administrator, as a part-time faculty member, for them to consider and contemplate becoming a vice president of academic affairs. But to be as effective and a really good and solid vice president of academic affairs, having the teaching experience is powerful, and then having the administrative experience in instruction is very powerful. It'll help you. It'll come in very handy when you are the vice president of academic affairs.
Excellent. All right, last question. Somebody wants to get in touch with your office. How do they do so?
They can reach me via email at juanamcgowan@mbc.edu, or they can call me at my number. It's 951. I can't remember the number, but that's okay. reach
Well, when in doubt, 951-571-6161. Yeah, excellent. All right, Dr. McGowan, it was a pleasure having you today. Leslie, learned a little bit about academic affairs and how it works. But one of the questions I have is how to sign up. So I think our next guests are going to be pretty interesting.
Yes. We have Arlene, our academic evaluations coordinator, and a special guest from
Arlene?
right here in the lobby
Admissions and
at
Records.
Admissions and Records.
All
Yes.
right, welcome aboard. You were making history here. You are the first two-time guest on the program.
Oh, thank you.
But it's not like Saturday Night Live where you get a special jacket or anything like that. Sorry.
I'll be waiting for it.
Maybe an extra email. That might be it. So, all right. What's the vibe been like in here, just with registration opening?
It has been, so my name is Alicia Garcia. I am an office assistant here with Admissions and Records. And I want to say that over the past year or so, it's been really active in here. It's been great to see all of our students come in and, with an array of questions and different situations. So
Alicia, what's the most common question you get from students as you're helping them register?
I think lately it would be, I get a lot of questions of the students are concerned on how to access the web portals. And so sometimes our students are more hands-on and they need a little bit of help in walking them through the process a few times. Once we do that, they're good to go.
Excellent. So let's just say I'm tuned in today. I'm thinking about coming to college, or maybe I'm just in the middle of my semester thinking about registering and coming into the Welcome Center. About how much time should I put aside just to kind of do everything?
I would say put aside, so preparation is key. Preparation is key. I would say put aside about an hour or so to really hone down on what you want your schedule to look like for your projected schedule. And so when your registration date comes, you have the classes that that are already on your EduNet plan or your StudentNet plan, and registration date comes, and so you're just registering for the classes that you've already selected. And
Arlene, let's say I don't have a student education plan yet. Where can I get one?
You come into our counseling office. We are open almost every day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, and come make an appointment with them so that you're able to review with the counselor exactly what your program of study is, what your transfer plans are. That way they're able to assist you with those courses, at least getting you started with that part.
Excellent. Before we continue this great conversation, I will remind our audience, you are tuned in to Chat with the Prez, as always available on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Also, you can catch the show along with my other 30 subscribers. I guess, what is it, 35 now?
Yes. Whoop, whoop.
On Dr. Prez, Dr. Besikoff Talks Education on YouTube. Excellent. So what is your job title specifically, Alicia? Could you tell us?
And so my job title just changed a few months ago. It was Operations Assistant, Admissions and Records Operation Assistant. It is since then changed to Office Assistant, and none of the duties have changed. We assist our students in all aspects of their accounts, right? And so from beginning to end, middle, at any point of their academic career with us, we are there
To assist.
Yeah, we're there to assist.
So, it seems like a lot of responsibilities. Let's say somebody's tuned in and maybe is thinking about a career in student affairs, working in an enrollment services office. What might be some things to get ready for the role you have?
I would say some of the things that I did in preparation were I utilized LinkedIn and their training courses.
Oh,
so I tell the
good information.
Yeah, I took a few of the cultural competency trainings. I also have completed some courses in they're not management courses, but more so there's a first aid training that I've completed. Really just I would say get to know the population that you're going to be serving.
Okay.
With screen resources to help you to better assist them.
Okay, excellent. So she mentioned a course on LinkedIn. I know credit for prior learning, something you're into, Arlene. What should students maybe think about bringing forward to possibly get credit for?
So we have quite a bit of articulations here approved through our faculty. We do have a lot of licenses. If you have an EMT license, a paramedic license, and you did not get credit for that at another regionally accredited institution, we can give you credit for that. There are some documentation that we do need to review, but once we review all of that and you're approved for it, you're able to start our general education courses here so that you're able to complete your associate's degree for whether it's a promotion, it's some type of career advancement, a pay raise. So we have quite a bit of those courses that have been approved, and we do have a database that houses all of those. So if you ever have any questions about it, we do have it listed on mvc.edu/CPL.
Oh, wow.
And you can go in there and see what's approved. My biggest recommendation is always come to the college, ask here whether it's admissions and records or counseling. Counseling, all of our counselors have been trained on what to look for when it comes to prior education, whether it's job experience, whether it's another license, whether it's a certification somewhere. CompTIA is very popular too through here. So I would always come in here and ask questions. You're never going to find somebody that just says go away. You're going to always get someone to keep you here. We want to make sure that you stay here with us.
And I have to say, I've come down here many times. Nobody has ever told me to go away, so that's good news. Not even Alicia, so that's always good to
No,
know.
we love it here. We want to make sure that everybody feels welcome.
Yeah. So Alicia, what do you enjoy most about your job?
I would say the students and the personal fulfillment of being able to. I like to say that graduation is my payday. So if I've been able to, if I've been able to attend
New slogan for the show.
graduation, to see some of our students come in with, certain situations. Life comes up and they find themselves in need of that extra hand or push, support. And then to see them walk across that stage is my praise.
Well, with such friendly colleagues as you, I imagine we already have a lot of students coming in, but now the lobby's going to get flooded even more. Thank you both for coming in and joining us today.
Thank you.
Real quick, if somebody has a question just about admissions and records, enrolling, best way to get in touch.
Best way to get in touch with us. So we are always happy to see our students and excited to see them. You can contact us, or our hours of operation are Monday and Thursday 8 to 5 p.m., Tuesday and Wednesday 8 to 6 p.m., Fridays 8 to 4 p.m. And we are available through virtual, it's through ConnectEd. Text, you can text us. You can send us an email through admissions@mbc.edu. You can also walk in, or you can give us a phone call at 951-571-6101.
Excellent. Thank you both for stopping in. Appreciate it.
Thank.
A better opportunity now to welcome Dean Eric Anthony, our second time guest of the program.
How you doing?
Dean Anthony, what's happening in your office now? What's going on with registration opening?
Well, we're excited about some of our CTE offerings for the winter and the spring 26 semester. We have some exciting courses. We'll be offering our Industrial Automation 10 course for the first time here at Moreno Valley College.
Industrial automation. What's that?
Industrial automation. We're going to be training students on everything that they need to be a maintenance technician. So they'll learn the electronics, the mechanics, the hydraulics of all the systems that it takes to run an automation process. And so, yeah.
So what's the time commitment to maybe get training?
Yeah, so our Industrial Automation 10 course, it's a Tuesday, Thursday evening class. So it's a series of classes, and this is the first in the series, and it comes with some SACA certifications, which stands for the Smart Automation Certification Alliance, right? So students will be able to walk out of that program with industry credentials that they could take to any employer to prove that they have those competencies.
Name of a company or industry that might be hiring one of those graduates.
Let's see, there's lots of places in our area like Deckers and Procter & Gamble, lots of local.
I've heard of them. Yeah.
Lots of local employers in the area that align with those skills.
Oh, wow.
So you are the Dean of Career and Technical Education. What are some of the programs besides the industrial automation? What are some other ones that are out there that could maybe have a student registering today and maybe in a few months even working?
Yeah, so there's some great multiple programs within our human services and counseling and social work pathways. There's employment specialization pathway where in, I believe, 2 semesters and 3 classes, students can get out and work within those human services fields and work for some county or state agencies where they're helping connect other folks to jobs.
We sit around in education and we talk about, pathways and things like that, but maybe to somebody who's hearing kind of not really working in education or studying, what's a pathway?
A pathway is a series of courses that you'll go through within a specific discipline to get a specific certificate or degree. So for instance, within business, there's accounting pathways, there's real estate pathways, there's management and marketing pathways. And so there's just different on-ramps and off-ramps for students to...
Can you have multiple pathways? Is that allowed?
And if you wanted to major in, and have multiple programs of studies, then you certainly could do that.
Okay.
Tell us about the real estate program.
The real estate program. So students, we have both a certificate and an associate's degree within real estate. So students will be prepared to take their exams to be real estate brokers.
Wow. So does that involve, in addition to a certificate or a degree, does that also involve an independent exam?
Yes.
How intensive is that?
Pretty intense, right? I believe it's a state exam that folks need to take in order to.
And is that just with the certification, does that allow somebody to do commercial real estate, residential real estate, one or the other, or both, or how does that work?
To be honest with you, I don't know. So I will get back to you on that.
All right, excellent. What about our business? Talk about our business courses, because most of the time, if I run into somebody on campus, I say, "What's your major?" They say business. So it's so engrossing. What's involved?
Yeah,
What are the programs?
There's business, there's entrepreneurship, there's accounting, there's management, there's real estate, marketing. And so a lot of those students will go into jobs where they're in management level careers. But there's so many different aspects of business is interesting because every sector of employment has business, right? Whether you are in automation or whether you are in healthcare, every single institution has a need for business, and so it's a pretty
It's the degree that keeps on giving.
very, very much so.
Yeah. What got you into the field of CTE and educational leadership?
So I had many different paths. I was a film major as an undergrad and found many different forms of employment afterward that were not related to film, right? And so I was very interested in the world of CTE and helping connect students to jobs when they're in school. I didn't have much work-based learning experience when I was an undergraduate, and I think that opportunities that connect students to the world of work are very valuable while they're actually learning. Not everybody who goes into who takes their first dental assisting class might you might not realize that you don't want to stick your hands in people's mouths all day long, right? And so getting students that opportunity early on so that they know that that's the right field for them, I think is really important. And so that's one of the most exciting parts of my job.
Yeah, I remember having a friend who wanted to be a doctor, Leslie, and immediately after seeing blood, realized they didn't want to do it anymore. So I think a lot of that hands.
I totally understand that.
Internships, apprenticeships. Can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so there's a lot of opportunities, especially for apprenticeships here at Moreno Valley. We have been working on scaling out apprenticeship opportunities for IT and cybersecurity, human services, accounting, emergency management, early childhood education. So there's a lot of opportunities to connect students to high wage and high demand jobs while they're actually enrolled in school, so that they could earn their degree while they're working.
Excellent.
Wow.
Wow. Thank you for sharing all that information. Lots of career opportunities if you come and study here with us. What's the best way to get in touch with your office to learn more?
So all of our programs and pathways and information are available on our website, mvc.edu, and you could reach me at eric.anthony@mvc.edu.
Excellent. Well, Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Always appreciate just the many opportunities provided through your office.
Thank you.
Take care and all the best. We are very pleased to welcome our Assistant Director of Financial Aid Resources, Olaide Costa. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yes.
Okay, welcome. Welcome. This time of the year, students, especially maybe those already enrolled, what should they be doing in terms of financial aid?
So they want to make sure that their financial aid files are still complete so that there's no delay in receiving the rest of their funding. In fact, today is the second disbursement date for financial aid for the fall semester for students. So If they're not receiving it, they want to double check with financial aid to make sure things are still okay. They should also be planning ahead for the 2026-27 school year by completing their FAFSA or California Dream Act application that's open now for the next school year.
Okay. So what are some things where students should be especially conscientious to keep their files current?
So students want to make sure that the number of classes they're enrolled in is still consistent. Sometimes they might drop themselves by accident from a class, and so they may not receive as much financially as they were expecting.
Your status changes, okay,
Yeah,
or you fall out.
Something
Yeah.
like that. So make sure that their file is still complete. Sometimes additional information is requested by the Department of Education mid-year. So we notify students of those kinds of requests, but they would just want to make sure that they follow up and make sure that those things are taken care of. And we always encourage students to also keep their information up to date. Name, phone numbers, emails, things like that. And they can update that information in their My Portal account or with our Admissions and Records office.
So the one that comes to mind is if you move, right? Obviously updating your address, but what's something that might slip by somebody's radar that, oh, I should have updated that?
The address.
The address. Okay, that's the big thing.
Definitely the address. Also, at this time of year, a lot of times students are thinking about changing home colleges. We are a 3-district college district, or 3-college district. And so for financial aid purposes, each college takes care of their own their students' financial aid.
So how does it work if I'm taking classes at RCC and at MVC?
So students can take classes at all 3 locations, regardless of which one is their home college. Sometimes students will think that they need to do a new admissions application for the next semester because they want to take, say, a class at Riverside. And that will actually change their home college in our system from Moreno Valley to Riverside, and that actually disrupts their payment cycle. So that's another thing that students could inadvertently do is change their home college. So they want to make sure that they follow up with financial aid or admissions to make sure that those things are consistent.
Okay, well, your office is outstanding. We actually had Juan Carlos Ponce on before, but let me start with this. I know a lot of our last conversation, we drilled into the FAFSA, and I'll get to that, but you mentioned the California Dream Act. Can you tell us what it is and what's needed?
Yes, so the California Dream Act application is the state of California's equivalent of the FAFSA application. So for students who are not citizens or eligible non-citizens, so essentially our undocumented students or DACA students, they would complete the California Dream Act application for financial assistance instead of the FAFSA. It does provide them with state provided financial aid. It does not entitle them to any federal aid. But they would want to definitely complete that application in order to be able to receive any state aid and also institutional aid that we award here at the college.
How much aid are we potentially talking?
So,
Sorry, I think we just became a money show.
So with the California Dream Act application, there are several things that students would qualify for, such as the California College Promise Grant tuition fee waiver. That is, we award about $1,800 for the year. That would cover the tuition costs of all of their classes.
All the tuition?
All the tuition.
Oh, wow.
From summer through spring of next year. Another award they'd be applying for is the Cal Grant, which depending on whether the student has dependents or not, it could go from $1,648 a year to $6,000. And then with that Cal Grant, some students are also eligible for something called Student Success Completion Grant. And depending on the number of units they take as a full-time Cal Grant student, they could be getting from $1,298 to upwards of $8,000. So,
But you need to be a full-time student for that?
you do need to be full-time. So
Okay.
full-time for financial aid is 12 or more units per semester.
And when does a student need their parent to help them do this? Like I heard that there's like some requirements if you're under a certain age, you have to put your parents' information. What is that?
Correct. Generally, for financial aid purposes, a student is considered dependent and needs parent information if they are under the age of 24. Wow. They're not married, have no dependents of their own. They're not in foster care, legal guardianship, or anything like that. There are some situations where a student may not meet those different criteria to make them independent, but they still can't provide parent information. And in those instances, they would indicate on the application that they have an unusual circumstance, finish the application, and then follow up with the financial aid office.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So there's still hope
Yeah.
for everybody.
Exactly. All right. So the state stuff, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Now, tell us about the FAFSA and what's available for qualifying students there.
So FAFSA, with the FAFSA application, students are applying for federal aid. The most common one is Pell Grant, and for this academic year and next, the maximum amount of Pell Grant a student can receive is $7,395.
So with Pell Grants, what's the interest rate and the repayment period? How does that work?
So Pell is a grant.
Oh, it's not a loan.
It's not a loan. It's free money. So the only thing students need to do is make sure that they continue to make satisfactory academic progress, meaning keeping up their grades and completing their classes.
So what's the line to keep up your grades?
So for federal aid, students are required to maintain a cumulative GPA of 2.0, and also to complete at least 67% of however many units they attempt overall. So, and then of course the third criteria would be for them to complete their program of study in a timely manner.
Okay. All right. So what are some common things where, let's say, for example, I'm taking my full semester, but I'm on a wait list for a theater class. I get into the theater class and I drop another class. What are some pitfalls there, that situation?
So there's always a potential to have to repay money if a student drops classes. So we always encourage students to, one, talk to their counselor about dropping or switching out classes, and then also find out from financial aid how it's going to affect them receiving their financial aid moving forward, and also how it's going to affect their satisfactory academic progress.
Okay.
So don't drop, because you might have to owe some money, which could hinder you in the future. So you want them to be responsible. Got it.
Exactly. Thank you.
What interested you about the field you're in, your role? How did you get into it?
Financial aid. So honestly, I kind of just fell into it, but I love it. My first director told me financial aid is the thing that if you love it, you really love it. If you hate it, you don't stay. And I've been in financial aid for about 10 years now. I like being able to assist students with what we do, giving out money to help them to be able to meet their educational expenses as they're going on their career path, and whether they're graduating from here and going into the workforce, or they're transferring to their four-year university. I see a lot of appreciation from students, for what we do and how we've helped them. I have a lot of mementos and things like that, and I really love that feeling of being able to help them in that way. And so I started as a financial aid advisor at Riverside City College. I've moved over to Moreno Valley as an analyst, and now as an assistant director, I feel like I'm able to do a little more in helping to get the word out to our students to apply, to stay on track, and help them reach their goals.
You shared a lot of the benefits of your role, and I certainly appreciate hearing that. If I'm listening and I'm thinking about this as a possible career, what might be some classes I should take now to get ready?
So there are no specific degrees for financial aid, but I would think something in business administration, maybe with an emphasis in accounting, would be very helpful, because we are dealing with money and reconciling different funds and so forth. And so those would be a couple of the areas that I think would be beneficial and are helpful.
All right.
In this role.
So if anybody out there has questions about financial aid, what's the best way to get in touch with your office?
So we are pretty much walk-in. So we invite students to walk in to see us. We're located in the Welcome Center here. And our hours are Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. We like to be available to students, and then Fridays, 8 to 4. They can also definitely give us a call. Our number is 951-571-6139. And then they can reach us by email at studentfinancialservices@mbc.edu. We have a lot of ways to contact us. We also have a virtual lobby through ConnectEd, so students can connect with us online. They can chat and even share their screen, so we can assist them with the applications and other things. And one more thing, we do have a Canvas shell. So students are both in online classes. They can actually enroll in our Canvas shell as well, so they can get up to date or information, kind of a one-stop shop for financial aid information.
Wow. We'd love to have you back on the program another time just to hear more about your pathway and also just we always have questions students feed to us about financial aid. I want to thank you for taking this time, especially this is busy time right now for joining us. And,
It is. Thank you.
Take care. Yeah. All right. So we said that financial aid might be something of a fire drill, kind of feel like that. Well, who better to welcome to the program our retired fire chief and dean over at the Ben Clark Education Center, Phil Rawlings, another two-time guest.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Excellent. So what's happening out of Ben Clark right now?
Ben Clark is continuously educating the future firefighters and future paramedics and future law enforcement individuals in our corrections department and our sheriff deputies.
Okay, so I always enjoyed going to the graduations. What are the ones that are upcoming in the next month or so?
So we have a graduation, I believe it's December 4th. Don't quote me on that exact date because I don't have my calendar in front of me, but we have a graduation. 223 should be graduating. When I say 223, Basic Law Enforcement Academy 223 will be graduating here.
Does that mean the 223rd graduating class?
223 graduating class.
And how many students are typically in a graduating class?
Well, in the past practice has been around 40, but this class is up into the numbers of 70.
So Leslie, take 223 and multiply by at least 40.
It's a lot.
That's impact. Wow.
That's impact.
Yeah.
Since 1953, the college district has been involved with the sheriff's department, and since 1964, they've been involved with the fire department.
All right. So behind you is the banner for the School of Public Safety. So we have the banner as kind of a visual cue. Could you just maybe walk us through Ben Clark and tell us the programs that are going on there right now as we speak at 12 o'clock or so?
So right now, the Fire Academy 53 is on the drill grounds actually doing some fire training, live fire training today.
Wait a minute, live on the ground. So what are they doing? Do they have like a simulated fire?
Well, no, we do real fire at our Fire Academy.
So can you give us an example of a practice exercise?
So a practice exercise would be like what we refer to as a Control 3 burn, which is a structural fire fighting burn, where they actually simulate entering into a structure and the correct application of water and the use of the nozzle and the hoses that we have for the components of putting out or extinguishing fire. So that would be something that they would be training on. They also do rope rescue training and learning ropes and knots and how to extract individuals from locations, mechanical advantage with what we call pulleys and rigging systems. So
Hands-on learning.
In other words, it's not just water. There's so much more. Wow.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more. The amount of application hours for the cognitive function of learning how to do the job is intense. It's actually more so than the lecture hours, to be honest.
Okay, so I'm at zero. I haven't taken any fire courses at all, and I want to jump on board in January or February and get started. What classes would be out there first?
Well, first, I'd like you to research it and make sure that firefighting is something that you would be wanting to do, and that would be.
What's kind of an acid test question that would tell you yes or no?
Well, some people, they want to get into firefighting because they see the activity that we've had in recent years in California with wildland firefighting, which is it's different type of firefighting versus structural firefighting. We train our firefighters to do both, but we're primarily structural firefighters, and we teach them the wildland component of it. But there are two different segments to it. As far as someone coming in entry level with no experience, 18 years old, right out of high school, you have to obtain for our program, you have to have your EMT certificate completed, either at the National Registry level or the state of California level. So that's a 16-week course depending on where you go.
But you could go here for that?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's EMS is one of our primary subject matters that we deal with. But that's to get into our fire academy. There are other fire academies that only require emergency medical responder, which now that's our prerequisite to becoming an EMT is emergency medical responder. So taking the EMR, transitioning into EMT, getting the EMT completed, and then working on completing what we call Fit 1, which is Fire Technology 1. It's introduction to fire technology. It's the nuts and bolts of what we do in the fire service. And then there's an application process that we have online. Go to the nbc.edu website and type in school public safety or public safety. Brings you to the school of public safety. You can follow the links to the fire technology and hit Fire Academy, and it tells you the application process. And it's a pretty lengthy process of applying because you have from November 1st through December or to November 31st to put in an application with the School of Public Safety to be considered for the next Fire Academy. Then you enter into the pre-academy, which happens in the winter intersession and or the summer intersession. So the winter intersession enters into the spring. So if you're accepted into that that program, and it's all competitive, merit-based competitive processes, so that we ensure that all of the students meet all the prerequisites and they're physically conditioned and good to do the
Physically conditioned.
the job is very.
Okay.
There's a new trend in the fire service of referring to the firefighters as industrial athletes. And what that means is we need to have a better understanding of nutrition. Kinesiology is a good thing to know and understand. So you know your physical limitations, and then be conditioned well enough to do the arduous work that we do. There's lifting, stooping, standing, running.
Phil,
So
talk about the relationship between CAL FIRE and MVC.
our relationship is lengthy. And like I said, CAL FIRE and the college has been in combination since 1964. That's a very long time. Numerous courses have been instructed, but when we became an accredited regional training program through the Office of the State Fire Marshal, that allowed us the opportunity to train individuals to enter and complete their fire academy and then go to a location like CAL FIRE. Previously, CAL FIRE was a huge player, a huge component of it. We share the drill grounds with them, and we used to share a lot of the equipment. But over the years, we've been able to acquire enough equipment to be a little bit more self-standing, but we still have that continued partnership. And our program is feeding into the CAL FIRE recruitment program. But not just CAL FIRE. We have other departments throughout the state. In fact, there's a recruiter coming down from Washington to try to recruit fire cadets out of our program because of the reputation.
Wow. Tell us about how you became a firefighter.
Well, how I became a firefighter, it ended up becoming, I went to Crafton Hills College. I became an EMT, and I used the EMT to help me finance my education.
Oh,
Okay. So I went to EMT school, became an EMT, and was working, taking college classes. I had a full load of college classes and working full time as an EMT. And then I said, well, I got to have more income, so I became a paramedic. And then when you become a paramedic, I need more income, so I became a firefighter paramedic. And it transitioned and progressed into that manner. But I was also a reserve fighter for Riverside County Fire. Started with that in 1991, and I was picked up full time in 1995. So, and I retired in 2020 with 25 years of service with the CAL FIRE, Riverside County Fire.
Any memories of those 25 years? Is there anything specifically that stands out?
Yeah, I think there are some things that stand out pretty significantly. It's really hard to talk to a family member after they just lost their home due to a wildland fire, and it's just blown through there. Much like what we experienced last year with the Palisades and the Altadena fires. That's pretty devastating, the type of trauma that people receive from that, emotional and so on and so forth. So that's tough to see people lose their entire home and stuff. And we always talk about the potential to rebuild, but the memories, are something that can't be replaced. And so that's tough on the firefighting side. And then on the emergency medical side, sometimes we deal with death and dying, and that could be a tough.
You know, that's actually a good segue as we move from fire. Can you tell us a little bit about the EMT program, the emergency management program, and what's coming up this spring?
Yeah, so what we have coming up is we have our normal courses that we're offering, our fire academy, our paramedic academy, and as well as our EMT
Actually,
academy.
Dean Phil, I see Tony Bradway is over there, and want to invite him actually over here to tell us a little bit about the program. This is going to be our ultimate impromptu guest. We have Professor Tony Bradway. I want to welcome you to my podcast. Please have a seat. Thank you. You're live and on the air, as they say.
Let's give you this.
Can you tell us, first of all, what are you teaching next semester?
So next semester we're teaching the trauma semester with our senior class. That's where they focus on traumatic injuries for the paramedics, and the EMT and EMR courses will continue.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
You just had a milestone though, right? You guys just finished the first class or something that didn't happen here before? Is it EMS 95 or?
Oh, right, the EMR course.
Okay, yeah, something
See, we don't have.
I think I saw something about
See,
that.
we have the best public affairs officer in the business. She knows all about the program.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of first-time courses, which was EMR, but that was a couple semesters ago. And then we have the first MICN course, which is where we had various nurses from different hospitals around the county that are base hospitals. Essentially, their job is to answer phone calls when the paramedics come into the hospital with a patient. So they were trained to do that, trained to take reports, and that was our first class, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been a collaborative effort with Riverside County Emergency Medical Services Agency.
Yes.
And the Moreno Valley College. And previously it had been a multi-county deal, and because of the uniqueness of Riverside County's protocols, we felt it was appropriate for us to have when I mean we're the lead college for EMS in Riverside County. And as such, it made sense for us to be the head of that and provide that type of training and education. So Tony was actively involved and engaged with the MICNs in their training and the skills, integrating that with our paramedic program.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was an awesome opportunity for them.
Yeah.
So a lot of our goal with the EMS program is to make sure that we get them involved with the community, with the nurses, with the hospitals, get them comfortable with the staff so we can work together collaboratively for the community. So with the MICM program, we had the opportunity to bring our students as volunteers and run scenarios for the MICNs. The MICN students were taking reports from the paramedic students, and it was a chaotic and fun day and very collaborative, and it was an awesome day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got to share, Leslie, the first time I met Tony, because I always wondered, how do you practice emergency services without actually having somebody who's injured? But in fact, there is a way to do that. And the first time I ever met Tony, he was doing something called a sim man, I believe. Could you tell us about that and how it plays in?
Well, as part of the EMS program, we have to simulate injuries in patients. So we use these mannequins. The one that we have that Dr. Peskov is talking about is a sim man. And it does all kinds of things. It talks, it breathes, it has a pulse, it has chest rise and fall.
Yeah.
And we also have in that room, it's called the Prism, which is our virtual reality room, where we have videos that are in a 10-minute loop of different areas within our city and county that we can simulate real areas the students were responding to, and both of those together really give them as much of a realistic experience as possible.
So Leslie, I'll give you a quick inside baseball story. When I met Professor Bradway, I was talking to him a little bit about the program, and he was actually conducting class. And in the middle of talking to me, he suddenly said, "Oh, I think I have a fever." And I was about to, maybe see it, but I realized he was actually talking to his students to simulate a fever. That was actually what's happening.
Yeah.
Another thing,
He's doing it through the microphone.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the mannequin is speaking to the students. So it's kind of entertaining.
Somebody taking your class, what should they expect?
I think for the paramedic class itself, you need to expect that you're going to be held to a certain standard and expectation. There are a lot of challenges that we have to face as paramedics in the field and that we have to prepare you for, but that you also have as many resources to your disposal as possible. We're all working together to make sure that you have all the knowledge that you need, all the expertise, and all the help along the way.
Oh, wow. Excellent.
But you guys should like people, right? It's really fast.
Oh, of
In this
course.
position of all public safety, people should like people before they take.
Well, we serve the people. We always serve the people. They are our customer. They are our patients. They're the most important person. Without them, we wouldn't have a job. So you obviously have to be nice, build a rapport, and professional always.
So, Dean Phil, just in the few minutes we have left, I want to transition over now to our police program, policing. AJ, could you tell us a little bit about that?
So we run a basic law enforcement academy. I just explained 223 is going to be 223 is going to be graduating in December. We also run a correctional academy. That will be January something is the graduation in that class, and that class is 115 or 116.
Wow, so many cohorts.
Yes, so many cohorts. And okay, so just so we could explain this, the correctional academy, there's a process you have to go through, the police officer standards and trainings process for background checks and so on and so forth. Correctional academy is a little bit different, where the standards are at the state correctional level standards. So there's still this.
And actually, Leslie, if I could share this with you, I saw the graduation ceremony for corrections, and they have kind of their memories of the program, and part of it involves getting directly sprayed with pepper spray. Yeah. Sorry, Dean Phil, just continue. Please continue and talk about the rigors of it.
Yeah, it is very rigorous in the physical part of it. But the correctional academy, the background is basically the same as it is for post, but it's a little bit different. It allows for you to be 18 years old, enter into the correctional academy through the background process and recruitment process of our sheriff's department and other agencies throughout the Southern California. And then that program is a 12-week program. It's 40 hours a week. It's 10-hour days, 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday.
Paid or unpaid?
Well, it
Unpaid.
depends.
Because I'm about to say
It
40
can-
hours. When would they?
Well, it's an open, that is an open
No,
enrollment.
but, and that's, Leslie, that's where applying for a Cal grant and
Okay.
applying, yes, submitting your California Dream Act application, your FAFSA. That's where that comes into play, because that allows you not just the tuition, but also really some money to make ends meet while you're having the student experience.
Right, and a large number of our students, actually probably around 97% of our students, are getting paid by an agency to go through the program, and it's part of their probationary process.
Wow.
Is to complete the academy and then go work for the next year or two under a probation period.
All right, so I have some news for you as we wrap up here.
Yeah.
On my YouTube channel, I only have 37 subscribers right now, I believe.
One of them.
And you're one of them. But I actually, the episode we did out at Ben Clark, including the 3 years before I came to Moreno Valley, that is the most watched episode
Oh, is it really?
of all of them, just with you,
I didn't
you
know.
and your colleagues. So just,
touches
yeah,
me.
absolutely. But just as we, go ahead, sir, and then
I was going to say, I think that just proves that there's an interest in people coming to public safety and going through our programs. We have high wage paying jobs. I mean, and it's good jobs.
Yeah.
Like I said, a correctional deputy starting at 18 years old, starting at $77,000 a year, and then waiting until he's 21 to go into a basic law enforcement academy, because that's state law.
Exactly.
Then it's a nice transition, a nice segue, nice pathway. And the Riverside County Sheriff's Department is always recruiting.
Yeah.
They're 450 officers behind in recruitment right now.
amazing. Yeah.
That's why our numbers are at 80 per class.
Yeah, yeah, it's something else. Just real quick, somebody's listening to this, wants to get in touch. Best way to get in touch with you.
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is simply email me at Philip, it's PHILLIP.Rawlings, that's RAWLINGS, at MVC.edu.
Excellent. Phil, thanks as always for stopping by. So as we wrap up this edition of Chat with the Prez, I would like to thank all of everybody who took place in Registration
Yes, it
Palooza
was
today.
great.
And Leslie, great job putting this all together, as well as Tiana Thomas behind the scenes also did a lot of work, and Chris Rangel. But most importantly, I'd like to thank you, our MVC and RCCD audience, as well as those up and down the great state of California. You know, whether you're tuning in from down south in the 619, big shout out there, or the 858, or all the way up to the far north in the 717 or the 530. Maybe you're part of LinkedIn Nation or the Instagram crowd. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, to our YouTube audience, always growing. Thank you for your support. But most of all, You know, if you're tuning in right now locally from Paris, Rancho Las Perras, Nuevo, Good Hope, Lakeview Hot Springs, Mead Valley, Mission Grove, Orange Crest, Sedona, Woodcrest, El Casco, Paso de Lago, Marina Knolls, Moreno Beach, and of course those right here on campus, right here in the Welcome Center, tuning in today. This is your show and we want to hear from you. So as we close up this episode of Chat with the Prez and try to dodge all that traffic as we get onto LaSalle before we get onto the 215, the 60, the 10, or even the 91. Leslie, thank you as always, and take us home.
Well, thank you all for tuning in to Chat with the Prez, hosted by Dr. Rudy Besakoff. This is co-host Leslie Vargas. And if you have a suggestion for a future show, please email us at prezhour@mvc.edu.